what's up y'all, this is Charlie. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to make my homemade caramel fudge brownies. Now these brownies are made with real chocolate and real caramel. Not only is the caramel baked into the brownies, but once we bake the brownies and they cool completely, we add a secondary amount of caramel right on top. This recipe calls for about 9 individual servings of brownies, just as you see here, and it is delicious. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here's all what you'll need to make your caramel fudge brownies. Let's get started. You will need some all-purpose flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, unsweetened cocoa powder, special dark version, 4 ounces of unsweetened baking chocolate, instant coffee, unsalted butter, heavy whipping cream, vanilla extract, and butter extract. To bake your brownies, you're going to need some parchment paper and an 8 by 8 inch baking pan. And there we have it. Alright, let's get straight to it. We're going to get started by preheating our fire to medium-high heat. Now let's make our caramel sauce. In a medium-sized pot, we're going to add 1 1/4 cups of sugar, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and 2/3 cup of water. Now we're going to take our spoon and we're just going to give this a quick stir. Now you're going to let this come to a simmer first. Once it's at a simmer, you're not going to stir it anymore. You're just going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes or until the mixture turns into a amber-like color, like how you see here. This is exactly what we're looking for right here. Alright, now at this time we're going to add 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And we're going to take our spoon and we're just going to stir this until that butter has melted. And at this point, you want to go ahead and turn your fire off, as we want to stop the cooking process. Alright. Okay, now that we got that nice and stirred in there, now we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. Now that whipping cream can be cold or at room temperature, it doesn't really matter. Now we're going to take our spoon and we're just going to stir this until combined. Don't worry about the steam, that's normal. Alright, now you're going to let this cool completely. And this is how it looks when we're done. Homemade caramel sauce made from scratch. Now if your caramel sauce thickens too much, you could add 2 tablespoons of cream in there. Make sure your cream is hot and give it a quick stir and it'll come back to its regular consistency. Alright, now let's make our brownies. Alright, in our medium-sized bowl with our mesh strainer, we're going to add 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. And to that, we're going to add 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of coffee, a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and 1 2/3 cups of sugar. Now we're going to sift all the ingredients into a medium-sized bowl. Now that mesh strainer, it acts as our cake sifter. Works for me. I really like it. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and set that on the side. And I'm going to take my spoon and I'm just going to stir all the ingredients together. And we're just going to stir this until combined. Alright, now you want to make sure that you stir this really good. Alright, to make sure all the ingredients are combined and together. Alright, here we have 4 ounces of baking chocolate. We're just going to break that into small bite-sized pieces. Alright, here we have 2 sticks of unsalted butter. We're going to place this into our microwave on high for 3 minutes or until that butter has melted. Alright, now we're going to add our baking chocolate into the butter. Just going to add that in there. Now I got a few little crumbs of the chocolate which I'm just adding there too. Now we're going to let this sit for about 10 to 15 minutes so that way that chocolate can melt into the butter. Alright. Now once done, I'm going to take my whisk and I'm just going to stir this until combined. The mixture should resemble a glossy chocolate texture like how you see here. Now once done, you're going to let this cool completely, and that could take anywhere from about 15 to 30 minutes. Alright, now we're going to add 4 large eggs at room temperature. Alright, make sure those eggs are at room temperature. And to that, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of butter extract. Now I'm going to take my whisk and I'm just going to stir those ingredients until combined. Now you will notice that As you are stirring this, you will notice that it will start to curdle and the fat will start to separate and everything. Do not panic. Continue to stir it and it will come together. Alright, now as you can see here, it's starting to break up a little bit. Don't worry about that. You keep stirring it and this is how it's going to look. It looks like a chocolate pudding like mixture, and this is exactly what we want. Alright. Now here we have our dry ingredients. Now all we got to do is we're going to take the wet ingredients and we're going to add it into the dry ingredients. Now you want to make sure you get a spatula now to get those wet ingredients out of that bowl and put it into the dry ingredients. Alright, make sure you get a spatula to get that in there. Alright, now we're going to take our spoon and we're just going to stir this until combined. Alright, now you want to stir this very carefully. Don't try to over mix it or anything. Alright, you can see it's coming together. Alright y'all, and this is how it looks when we're done. Oh, look at that, nice and chocolatey. Now I'm gonna let you know, if your batter is too thick, you can crack one egg. Make sure that egg is at room temperature. Alright, and to that you can add about 2 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter, which I'm doing right here. I'm adding that in there, and I'm going to give this a quick stir until combined, and this is going to help smoothen it out and make it a little bit thinner than usual. Alright, here we have our 8 by 8 inch baking pan. We're just going to take some butter and we're just going to spread that onto the bottom and the sides of our baking pan. Alright, now we're going to add a sheet of parchment paper into the pan. As you can see, that's a little bit unorganized. Like, oh Charlie, how are we going to get this in here now? Well, I'm going to show you. Look, you're going to take some scissors and you're going to cut around the corners of the parchment paper, and you go all the way till you get to the inside of the pan. You're going to do that to all 4 corners, so that way the parchment paper could fit inside the pan. Alright, like how you see here. You see that? Look at that. This is exactly what you're looking for. You want to make sure that those corners are fit to the sides. Alright, now we're not done yet. Now we're going to take some scissors and we're going to trim off the excess, the top part off. We don't need that on there. Alright, so you're just going to trim that off, just like how you see here. Just go all around. And there you go. Perfect. Now at this time, you're going to preheat your oven to 325 degrees. Now we're going to add our prepared brownie batter into our baking pan. Make sure you get a spatula to get all that in there. Oh man, that looks nice. Look at that. Yeah. Now at this time, you're going to take a back of a spoon and you're just going to spread that brownie batter around the pan as evenly as possible. Right, just to kind of help you out. Now to make the batter more even, you're going to shake your pan. Alright, don't shake it too violently, just shake it slightly. Alright. Alright, now at this time, here we have our caramel mixture. Make sure it has a nice consistency to it. Now we're going to carefully pour the caramel mixture onto the top of our brownie batter. Just go on to the top as evenly as possible, the best way you can. It don't have to be perfect, but make sure you do the best you can. Alright, just go up all along the top. It should be enough to go along the entire top of the brownie batter. Alright, look at that, perfect. Now we're going to take our spatula and I'm just going to make a little decoration so that way we could have that caramel go inside of the brownie batter. We're just kind of creating a little pattern here, as you can see here. You could do it however way you want to now. Alright, however, if you got a method that you like to do, you could do that. Alright, now at this time we're going to go ahead and shake our pan just to make that batter even. That's one last time, because with that spatula we just kind of messed everything up. Now we're going to go ahead and bake it. We're going to place this into a preheated 325 degree oven and we're going to bake this for 35 minutes. And this is how it looks before and this is how it looks after. Look at that, looks beautiful, got a nice little rise to it. Now we're going to go ahead and remove this out of the oven after baking on 325 degrees for 35 minutes. Now Toothpick test inserted into the brownie should not come out clean. Of course, this is Fudge Brownies, of course, alright? So, now at this time, you're going to let this brownie cool completely. It should take about 4 to 5 hours. I'm letting mine sit overnight. Now at this time, I'm going to go ahead and remove the brownie out of the pan. It should come out very easily. We're going to remove that parchment paper off there. You can discard the parchment paper. And we're just going to flip that back over onto our serving dish. Alright, as y'all can see here, we have some holes in the brownie. Now I did make some more caramel, as you can see here. Now you don't have to do this step if you don't want to, but I'm going to take that caramel and I'm just going to fill those holes with the caramel. Alright, now this step is totally optional, totally up to you if you want to make another batch of caramel. One thing you have to do is just follow the steps at the beginning and you'll be good to go. Alright, I just put it along the top as evenly as possible. I'm also doing this for presentation purposes as well. Alright, here is the final presentation. I'm going to go ahead and cut you a few pieces. Now you can get up to about 9 pieces. If you want a little bit more, just cut them smaller and you'll be good to go. Alright? And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Homemade caramel fudge brownies. Made from scratch by a New Orleans native. If you like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified of my videos. You can also check out this recipe as well as all of my other recipes. Visit www.charliethecookandrews.com. You can also find me on Facebook and on Instagram under the name Charlie the Cook Andrews. Stay tuned as Charlie's Taste Test is coming up next. Can't wait. Now it's time to go ahead and take a bite. Oh, I don't know which one I want. I'm so excited. I'm gonna get this one right here. Oh, man, look at that. Oh, my goodness, look at how good that looks. I'm gonna show y'all. Look at that. Yummy. The brownie is really rich. It's really moist. Has a nice caramel flavor. Like I said, the caramel is not only baked into the brownie, but it's also on top too. And it gives it a great flavor. It's really, really good. I'm telling y'all, give this a try. It's on point. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And until next time, have a good one. Peace. Look at that. Mm-hmm.